Okay, welcome back guys. I hope you're enjoying the course so far. So now in this video, we'll be seeing how to draw chart with multiple line graphs, and also we'll see how to draw a bar chart for the same. So let's get started. Okay, so now if you want to create similar kind of chart for two teams, so first of all, we'll need one more team's data. So for that, we'll go here and let's say now in this case, we call it, let's say India, Team India runs, and we'll create one more team. So let's say we call it Australia, so that we can compare graphs. Now you might have seen a lot of times in your TV that the graph comparison is always there, so that you can easily identify which team is progressing in a faster way or slower way in that case. So what you can do, you can also create a team Australia data for 10 overs, and you can pass it here. And let's say we just tweak the data a little more. So let's say initially 10, then 5, then let's say 13, then 6, then we can say around 20 here, and let's say 12 again, then 22, then 6, and then let's say 20. So now we have one team's data and second team's data. Now we know that our this part is going to remain same. This runs part, this overs part, and these lines are going to remain same. We just need one more line worm. That's what all we want. So we have two things to create that line worm. We have this functionality which creates the lines, and then we have this functionality which creates the circles. So now we need to write the exact same code again. So rather than writing the exact same code again, what we can do is we can functionalize it so that we can use the same function twice. So what I'll do is I'll put this code inside a function. I'll call it function draw line. And I'll take the whole code of drawing the line, that is till this stroke. I'll take all of that and put it here. And now I'll tell this function that I'll give you an array. So you'll not directly work on data because now I no longer have data. I have India and Australia. So I'll tell this function that I will give you the array that you have to work with. So I'll call, let's say ARR. Okay. And then here instead of data, I can use ARR. And here also instead of data, I can use ARR. So I'll give the array as the parameter and you have to use that. Same for this. I'll create a function draw circles. And I'll do the exact same thing. I'll take the whole circle code, that is basically this much, and I'll put it in draw circles. Okay. And then finally, I'll also tell this that I'm going to give you an array. So rather than working on data, you have to work on array like that. So again here, array. So now it has array. And this is the drawing the line graph function, and this is draw the circles function like that. Okay. So now what I can do is I can call them. So let's just do it, drawing line graph for both teams. So I just need to call this function twice. Draw line. I need to pass my India array in here, and draw line. And I need to pass my Australia array. So it will draw two lines now. Let's see if it is drawing two lines. And if we go, you can see it's drawing two lines. But I want them to be of different colors in this case. So what I can say is now in this case, they are both getting aqua. So rather what I can do is I can create one more parameter of color. So you also give me the color. I'll not decide the color. So now here I can go and give it a color. So I can say color. For India, I can say aqua. And for Australia, I can say yellow, something like that. And now rather than using that aqua directly here, let's use the color variable that we are passing. So now I'm passing aqua for India, yellow for Australia, and it will take it, and depending on that, it will do the stroke style. And here we go. But that yellow is not looking that great. It's looking very light. So what we can do is instead of passing yellow, we can say gold, which looks still similar to yellow, but it's a little darker. So yep, now I can see it. So now you can see we have two lines side by side. We can easily compare them. And now same for the disk, the circles. So let's put drawing circles for both teams. and let's call it draw circle, pass the India array. So draw circles for India, and same draw circles for Australia, and both are black, so that's fine in this case. And here we go. You can see it like this. But again, if you want, you can also change its color so that it's much more better. But you can see, yep, this is also taking this yellow. That's why it's quite unidentifiable. So I can change that color. So we have to go in circle as well, and I have to tell it that I'm also going to give you a color that you have to choose. Okay, or you can just remove the stroke actually. If you want, you can just remove the stroke. So just say, go here and put ctx dot line width equals 0. Let's see if the stroke goes away. Okay, it's not going away with this. So what can I do in this case is I can also pass a color. So let's pass a color. Let's say I'm going to give you color, and that will be your stroke style for the circle. So here we go. ctx dot stroke style equals color for the circle as well. And I'll pass the same color again. So for India, I'll pass aqua, and for Australia, I'll pass gold. So that circles, yep, now you can see this circle's border is also. So now you have a graph side by side, and you can create for n number of teams, India, Australia, and now you can also put here like India is blue and Australia is yellow for legends. So that's what you can do, guys. If you want two line charts side by side in a fair comparison, that's what you can do. Now then, let's move ahead to one of the easiest graphs that you will make, that is the bar chart. Okay. So let's reset this whole thing. And to reset this whole thing, what we just need to do is we need to comment these things. So let's go ahead and comment these things. And let's create the same chart in a bar formation. Okay. So we can keep the functions. It's fine. So function draw line, function draw circles, we can keep them. And we just commented the execution so that now we no longer see the lines. Now then, guys, let's go ahead and create functions for drawing the bar graph. Okay. So let's go. Here only. So at any point of time, I can activate anything. So function draw, let's call it bar, something like that. Okay. Now there is a very basic difference between a bar chart and line chart that you'll understand in here. Now guys, when you start bar chart, you don't want to go here because you directly want to start from first over. When you get a line chart, you just originate your line from here, right? You just originate your line from here, but you draw the pointer for 1 only, and then for 2, then for 3. But when you're developing a bar chart, you don't want to start from here. You directly start from here, like 1, then whatever it is, like this. That's how the bar goes. So you no longer have to go here, but you have to go here initially. This is the point where you have to be initially. So first move to. Okay. So move to at this place. So this is x 200 and y 450. So let's go. So first of all, let's move there. So ctx dot move to can simply say 200 on x and 450 on y. That's okay. And then simply ctx dot begin path, and then let's go. Begin the path, and finally we need some variables because we want the calculation. So this will also receive array because we need to give an array of data because now we're creating function. So I'm going to give an array of data, and let's apply the loop. So for let I equals 0, I is less than data dot, sorry, not data in this case, that array. So array dot length and I plus plus. Okay. I'll put that begin path in here. I also want one more begin path on top for the initial path, just for move to. Now you actually don't need it, but I'll just keep it for safety. For move to only you can keep it. It's completely fine, not bad. Now I am at this place, and from there I want to draw a line upwards. Simple. Again, see, if you want to go upwards, 450 minus that value. So ctx dot, and yes, don't forget to create an x variable, guys. So let call it line x, which will be initially 200 in this case. So if you want, you can also change the line x here. Instead of writing that, just put line x here. That's it. Now ctx dot line 2 from there, x will be line x and y will be exactly same 450 minus data of I multiplied by 10. Or if you want, you can just calculate it here. Let line y equals same stuff guys, so you can just take it and then put line y here. Now if I do this, it will also generate the line graph because it's the same code, right? It is the exact same code. So if I just do this, it will generate a line graph. You can see that. If I do this, it will simply generate a line graph. So if I call the draw bar now, so let me call it draw bar and pass my India data in that case, you'll see, okay, some problem. Function draw bar, line x, begin path, move to, then begin path. Okay, I think move to here, then from there begin the path. Okay, I think I should pass my move to init, but no, it should be working. Or do I have to stop doing begin path here? What mistake I'm making again? There's some silly mistake again that I'm making. Line x is 200. Okay, I'm not incrementing the line x. Simple. So every time this happens, line x should be plus equal to 100. But still some issue is there. And what is that? Line x is initially 200, begin the path, move to line x 450, that means here. Okay, let me put the stroke out. Nope. What's the mistake? Oh, data. We have array, we don't have data. See, silly mistake. But still the problem is there. So what's that? So draw bar India, we're passing that India array comes here, line x 200. Let's see the console. Are we making any variable kind of mistake? Nope. There is a very silly mistake, guys. Don't worry, we'll find it out. So I equals 0, I is less than array dot length. So we have an ARR. Move to line x, which is 200 initially and 450. And from there begin path, calculate the line y. Then ctx dot line 2, line x, line y. Okay. What's the mistake that we are making here? Let's solve it. Don't worry guys, I'll solve it in front of you only. We just need to find out what's happening. Okay, let's do one thing for a second. Let's comment this out and let's see if we're able to draw the line at least. So ctx dot line 2, line x only till let's say 200. Just confirming if we can draw a normal line here, because I'm unable to check the mistake. Okay, it's drawing a normal line. So normal line is getting drawn. So what's the issue with the loop? Is it the begin path? Okay, see, we get the same thing again, the line chart. But this is what we don't want. What we actually want is, see guys, when we create a bar graph, what we want is it should start from here, go till here. I'll tell you the problem, don't worry. I understood the problem, but I also want to explain the solution. So in a bar graph, what we want is, see, starts from here, goes till here. The next time I don't want to draw a line. I want to go back here. I want to move here, and then from here I want to draw a line. Then I want to move, draw a line. So every time I draw a line, I want to move. Then again move. Then again move, line 2. Move to line 2. Move to line 2. That's what we want. That means every time I also need to perform a move to. So for that, guys, what we have to do is, we have to take this move to, we have to take this move to from here actually in here, and you can now remove this begin path. So what we have to do is, see, so we have a line x, and now here's the real logic. See, we have a line x 200. Now every time the loop happens, that means for every data it will begin the path, it will initially move to that thing that is 200, 450, that is basically in here. From there, perform a line to whatever the line x is, that is 200, and whatever y calculation is, that basically is still here, and then increment it. And now when the loop runs next time, it will again perform move till to the next line x, that is it will go back here because line x increments by 100. So next time it will be at this place 300, 450. Next time 400, 450, 500, 450, 600, 450, like that. And now it will generate a simple bar graph. But you can see it is not looking like a bar, but at least the structure is ready. So in the basic difference between a line graph and a bar graph is, in line graph you continue the line 2, line 2, line 2, line 2. So you draw lines continuously like this. Line 2, line 2, line 2, line to somewhere else, line to somewhere else, line to somewhere else. That's what you do in a line graph. In a bar graph, you do line 2, line 2, then move again, line 2, then move again, line 2, then move again, line 2. So that's what you do in a bar graph. Now these lines don't look like a bar, so we can make them look like a bar. So for that, what we just have to do is, we have to do ctx dot line width equals, now in this case I can just go for 10, and you should see this. And here we go. Now you can also make it a little more bolder, so we can just give 15, and now it looks much more like a bar graph. So that's how you can create a bar graph. Now you can do the exact same thing for the next one. You can also call this draw bar once more, and okay, don't forget, I think initially I have to do a move to, but okay, no, I don't have to because I'm calling it again, so line x, yeah. Now let's do the same thing for Australia, and we should get a join. Okay, it's coming at the same place, but I want Australia at a little side. See, it's coming at the same place. So if you want it at a little side, make sure that the Australia's graph starts from a side. So pass it here. So let's say I'll pass the x here. X for India will start at, let's say, 180, right? And x for Australia will start at 210. So here comes the x. So now this line x will not start directly from 200, whatever the x is given. So for India, it will be starting at 180. For Australia, it will be starting at 210. So now we should have two bars. And here we go. India, Australia. And same, you can just do different colors. So again, pass a color. For India, you can make it aqua. And for Australia, again, you can make it gold. Like that. Take a color here. And now every time you do it, just don't forget ctx dot stroke style equals that particular color. And here we go. We have India, Australia. I know I have selected wrong color for India. I think it should be a little more bluish, but we have to find that color out. So you can also make it like, I don't know. Let's see light blue if it looks good. Yeah, this is much more better. Or you can just take blue directly, but blue will be very dark. But here we go. See, this blue is very dark. So you can choose a color actually. So you can just go on a color picker like that. And let's take a good blue. So maybe this blue is good. So we can take this hex code from here. And instead of this blue, we can pass it here like this. Yeah, this is better. So guys, now you also have a side-by-side graph in a bar section, in a bar logic. So that's what you can do. So now you know how to create a line graph, how to create multiple line graphs at once, and same with bar graph. So I hope guys you understood. But the only basic difference between a line chart and a bar chart is, in line chart you continue as line 2, and in a bar chart you again go back to normal. So move to line 2, again move to, again line 2. But in a line chart, you see, you only perform one move to, and then in a loop continuously line 2, line 2, line 2, just to draw the line. Okay, so that's it guys. Now you also know how to create a bar graph. Now I'll be seeing you in the next session where we'll be creating a pie chart for some data, not for this, because representing this kind of data in pie chart is a little tricky. In pie chart, we don't represent this kind of data. So we'll be using some other kind of data to represent a pie chart, but I'll show you how to make it. So I hope guys you're enjoying all these sessions. So if you're enjoying it, please like and subscribe and share it to people and help me grow as well. So thank you so much guys. I'll see all of you in the next session. Bye bye.